Hello everyone, this is Toby with Birdsong Studios. How are you guys doing today? I hope everyone is well. So I wanted to share a couple of things that came through for me over the last couple of days that I found really interesting. The first being to be mindful and present when you're taking trips, especially if you find yourself going through a natural space that you haven't been to before, and maybe that you didn't anticipate going through. Maybe you drive through a state park, or you go by another natural area that you've never seen previously and you weren't anticipating being in that area. The invitation is to recognize that these, let's call them detours, are purposeful and your presence there is needed. So if you find yourself in that type of situation, where you're taking a trip, it doesn't have to be that far. It could be in your local area and maybe just a place you'd never been to before, and you find yourself noticing the nature around you, in particular the land and the trees. The invitation is for you to be very present in that moment, to connect into nature in that moment and in that space, and also the opportunity to be open to any messages that you may receive. But in being present in that space, there is something about your energy, about your light, about your awareness and your gratitude even for that space, for the nature that is there, for the energy that is there, for the spirits that reside there, that brings light and healing to that area. So just that might be very specific for a few of you out there, but something just to be mindful of as you are moving around your geographic location. And you may find that you really have an easy and deep connection with nature in that space and are able to have some communication back and forth. So keep that in mind as you're traveling. The other thing is, this is regarding our intuition, okay? So as we move through this eclipse time, the portal from the 2 weeks after, I think I said in my last video that there was another eclipse in 2 weeks. It's in 5 months. I don't know where 2 weeks came from. Maybe I didn't say that, but I haven't gone back to listen to it. Anyway, still, the eclipse energies can last up to about 6 months. So in this time frame, part of what is being revealed is a deepening of your intuitive and psychic gifts. So the reminder I was given the other day was that when we are receiving signs and symbols and guidance and synchronicities, oftentimes we may have a tendency to overlook the subtle signs. And there was a channeling about the subtle signs, so I'll put this back out again. But they gave me another analogy, and it was, again, it's about travel. It's very interesting. I didn't think about that till just now, but it is about driving. So if let's say you're driving and on a country road, maybe hilly or a mountainous type of area, if there is a curve up ahead of you and the sign, although it's small, but it's a quarter of a mile or so, or an eighth of a mile from the actual entrance to the curve, that gives you time to adjust, right? That gives you time to change your speed, maybe change your direction of entry into the curve, gives you time to even put your drink down or put it in the cup holder so something doesn't spill over, or align your focus, take your focus off of, maybe if you're having a phone call, or maybe you were listening to music. Sometimes we have to turn down the music so we're really paying attention when we drive, right? So it gives you time to prepare yourself for this detour. Again, we're back to detours. Very interesting. Even though it's a curve, but it is a detour, right? Now, let's compare that to what may be a large blaring sign, but it's right at the entrance to the curve. You're gonna have to slam on the brakes. you're going to have to like maybe grip this, you move from response to react, right? So you may be gripping the steering wheel, you may be careening through the curve, stuff might be falling around in your car, your drink might spill over, you know, if you have anything in the seat next to you, the people might be, if you've got anybody in the car with you, I'm doing the I'm acting it out for you so you can get the whole feel for it. But you know, they're leaning, you're throwing them up against the wall and the seatbelt. It's a totally different experience, right? So this is the analogy I was given for the signs that our intuition and our clairs give us. They might be very subtle in the beginning, but when we're really tuned in and we're really open to receiving those and not questioning those, but taking them for what is offered, it gives us a time to respond to the curve up ahead that they are maybe foreshadowing, that they're giving us a little bit of forewarning of. And then the other part about it, and a little bit of a tidbit about me personally, I love to drive, first of all, and I really like driving fast. And at least not when I have my child in the car, but when he's not in the car, I really like, if there's a curve I know about, right, in town or somewhere, I really like to go fast through it. It might not be a fast speed, but I really like that sensation. I love that. I probably should have been a road racer. Anyway, so the other part about that is, the reason I bring that up is because I realized just this morning as I was thinking about and reflecting upon this message of, you know, if we're ignoring those subtle signs, it might be a little sign and it might be in the distance, you know, what it's referring to is off a ways. But if we start to prepare then and we take that information into consideration, not only will it be a smoother trip through the curve, instead of that just reaction and everybody's on edge and, oh, you know, everything, it's kind of startling and kind of shocking, and that's the big sign, but it comes at the last minute. Well, it's a big sign because we've ignored the little signs building up to it, right? So then it becomes a big sign, and then we have to react instead of respond. So oftentimes that's what we react to in our intuition. So the invitation is for us to become aware of how much more specific, possibly more detailed, more the signs may seem subtle, but they are very specific. However, because they're not a blaring sign, and because it feels like it's something that might be a little bit farther off, we might not be giving it the weight and the attention that it could be helpful if we do. The other part is, and the reason why I brought up that I love to go fast through the curves, is that not only can we react, not only can we prepare to respond, but we can also then have fun with that journey, right? With that detour. We can enjoy it. We can add a sense of adventure into it because we are responding and we're choosing how we experience that detour versus just reacting and it being disruptive and it being potentially dangerous, right? Not necessarily literally dangerous, but symbolically dangerous for us if we're entering into this curve too fast and we're reacting at the last minute. Well, there's a little bit more chance for things to kind of go left or go wrong. So I found that very interesting, and interesting again that we're talking about driving. So there's a lot of movement going on now. This speaks back to what we talked about with the fast moving energy about the eclipse in that last video that I did, and about how timelines are shifting, and they are shifting moment to moment. And so here's a prime example of why, now I'm putting all this together right here with you, why the guides are bringing through this information about being very aware of these subtle signs that your intuition is giving you, your guides are offering you. They are the synchronicities that are being offered, and to really learn to trust yourself with those and to stand strong in them as well. You may find that when you are really listening to your intuition, it might be it's very likely that it's difficult to describe to other people, right? Actually, I take that back. It may not be difficult to describe, but you may find that you get some pushback from other people if you are given a reason for your decision to do something, or a reason, you're trying to explain to them your intuitive actions. But it is the other part of this is to stand strong in it, and to trust in yourself, to trust in that intuitive knowing, to trust in the signs that you're given. And when we do that earlier on in this journey, with each of these phases, in each situation and environment and adventure we go on, then our journey is much smoother, right? So it doesn't mean that we aren't going to have detours, but we can navigate them better, literally, and we can have some fun with it. So have fun in your detours, have fun in the journey, have fun in the curves, and let me know what you guys think. I hope this was helpful, and I will be back soon. Have a great day.